So welcome to this tutorial on how to create a table within PostgreSQL pgadmin tool. I'm going to start in the databases area and talk about the fact that I have two databases, DVD Rental and Postgres. I'm actually going to create a temporary database, one that I'm going to have just for this example, just so we don't actually change or add to these two. So to do that, I'm going to click on the databases and right-click to open up New Database and select that. You'll see an options pane here. I'm going to type in the name for this database and call it MyDB, and I'll make the owner the Postgres user. I won't set any other options, but I will notice to show you the SQL tab here shows you how this actually is running in the background. This will run when we run this, a create database statement. So we're creating a database called MyDB with encoding of UTF-8, which is the default language of this database, and then the owner is Postgres, connection limit of -1, meaning unlimited number of connections or number of people that can be connected at one time to this database. I'm going to hit OK to create that database, and you should see in the screen refresh here that we have a new database created. And in a second here, while it's creating, it seems to be a little slow. There it is. It's called MyDB. I'm going to click on that. And when I open that up, you'll notice that in the schemas area, which is where all of our objects reside, tables, views, indexes, you'll see that there's a public schema. And within that, if I keep opening these up, you'll notice that there's basically nothing in here, all zeros, even tables. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new table that should appear in here. To do that, I'm going to use the SQL query pane. I'm going to click on this to open that up. And I'm going to type in the command to create a table. The command is create table. You give the table a name. I'm going to call this table table 1. Now, normally tables are given much more, much more usable names that mean what information's in there. So let's actually give it a better name than that. Let's call it my customer. Okay, and then we'll say we're going to create that table with various columns or fields in it. So to do that, you list the fields with inside parentheses. So I'll open the parentheses up. I'll give the first field a name here, which is going to be the customer ID, and that's going to be an integer, comma, separate field names by commas. The next column I'm going to have is last name. That's going to be a variable character of maximum length 30, comma, and then first name. It's going to be a variable character of length 30 as well. And going to put one more column in here, obviously a very abbreviated my customer table, and just put in the gender. So I'll define a column named gender. I'm going to call this a character field, which is an explicit length field. So this is exactly how long this field's going to be. It's going to be of one length. We're going to use an M or an F for male or female. We're going to close the parentheses here. You'll notice that there's an orange marker here, meaning you haven't closed this parentheses yet. So I'm going to close them now. So now they turn blue. I'm going to put a semicolon there to end the command, and then I'm going to run the command. To run the command, you can click the green arrow right here to execute it. And you'll notice down below that the query successfully returned no results in 149 milliseconds. So it didn't return results because it's not a command that's going to show data back, but it did do something. I'm going to close the window here in the upper right. I'm not going to save my changes. And I'm going to refresh the schema to show you that one table now is in here, and that's the table we created called My Customer. And it should have 4 columns, and there they are. Okay, so that's a quick tutorial on how to create a table within PostgreSQL using SQL command create table.